Welcome back to Blueprint Bootcamp Tournament Edition. Today we're going to be talking about drawing number 9, the standoff. So stay tuned. Alright, so today on Blueprint Bootcamp Tournament Edition, we're going to be talking about drawing number 9, and it is what is considered a standoff. So let's jump into our drawing and we'll take a look. So very, very simple, straightforward part. What I like about this part a lot is it reminds me of like an engine mount, or when I used to work in industry. Before I was a teacher, we had these mounts that we would use for the transmissions on these feed mixers, and this is exactly what they would look like. It wouldn't be one solid machined part. It would be kind of a piece of metal that was bent out, but essentially the same type of geometry. That hole that we have here is going to be would be used to put some like rubber shims in, like kind of like bushings to kind of hold the transmission in place while the mixer was moving down the road and while it was shaking, so it would kind of hold stuff and keep it from rattling so much. But long story short, if we take a look at what we're going to be doing, we need to come down here. It is a standoff. It's a tier 2 drawing, plain carbon steel, and we're going to need change our units to millimeters and grams. We need a tolerance of plus or minus 1 gram. So what is the mass of this part in XXX grams with a 1 gram tolerance? But this is kind of where I'm going to do most of my stuff. So I kind of want to show some techniques for this when we go about this. So I'm going to go 92, up 10, come on over, come on up, come on over 14, come on down, and then give it that 15. I'll add that radius of 12 afterwards. And then if we look here, this piece is symmetrical along this axis. So if I draw half and then mirror it, it's sometimes easier to use that hole tool without having to draw a second circle on there. So, and then you can do a half radius at the same time. So we're gonna have a 35 millimeter hole throughout and a overall 30 millimeter radius here. So let's go ahead and jump into our on shape drawing and let's see what we got going on. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in and change our unit. So we come up here to the top, workspace units. I'm going to change from inches to millimeters. Pounds are going to go to grams, and we're going to accept that. I'm going to start a sketch on the front plane, Shift and S to start that sketch, N to normalize, P to hide those planes. And what I'm going to do is draw a line from my origin to the right. I'm going to go out 92. I'm going to go up my 10. And I'm going to just kind of cruise on over this way. Not give it a dimension. I'm going to go up, not give it another dimension. I'm going to track to here, tell that needs to be 14, and then come down here and tell that needs to be 50, and you'll see it'll all kind of work itself out. So next I'm going to do Shift and F. I'm going to round that corner to 12 millimeters. And this is the point where I go Shift and E. I'm going to turn this thing solid. And I know I told you guys in here it is a symmetrical view, so we need to go out 60. We look right here, 60 millimeters, but I kind of want to show you what happens if we only do half of it. So we'll jump here, we'll go 30, and we'll say okay. Now I need to add that hole, so we're going to go Shift and F first. We're going to do a rounded corner. That radius needs to be 30. So we'll say 30 on that radius. We'll accept that there. Now if we come up here to our hole tool and I go simple, now I can use this, the mate connector. And that point is my center point of that arc right there. So now I need that to be a 35 all the way through, and we'll accept it. And now I can do my mirror tool here, mirror plane here, accept, and there is my part. So if I right click, assign material, and go to my custom material library, again, we said it was made out of plain carbon steel, accept, right click, we'll do our mass. I get a mass of 601.928, which rounds up to 602, which is exactly what we're looking for. So tolerance of plus or minus 1 gram is going to drop us down to 601 all the way up to 603. So anywhere from 601 to 603 is going to get you in that in the clear for this drawing. So that's one way to do that, is with that mirror. But I kind of want to show you something else too. Let's delete that, and we'll back this up a little bit. We'll go to our extrude, and let's make this 60 like it's supposed to be. And we'll say, okay. Well, now how am I going to get that corner rounded? Now, another feature I wanted to show you is we can still use that fillet tool. And I could go in here and I could say, yep, click both, let's make them 30. But if we use this feature right here, the full round, it's going to be a lot easier, and it's going to do the math for us. Because if we have a 60 millimeter shape and I round it and I do a full round, it's going to give me a 30 millimeter radius. So if I say, here's my first side, tab, here's my second side, and then there's my face to round, we say okay. Now when I do that whole tool, if I do the same thing, we'll say this needs to be 35. Here's my mate connector. I have my hole right there, just like it should be. And we still end up with the same. Let me select that. Internet's going slow. Poor connection. Come on. Let's try that again. Yep. Reconnecting every time I try to show you guys something cool. Let's see what this can do. There we go. 601.928. Same exact mass that I had before, just a different way to kind of go about it. So that's going to do it for us today. Very, very simple drawing. But like I said, very practical drawing. So if you're looking for some real world training and you're trying to figure out how to kind of go about making some of these projects and doing some stuff, I recommend just finding a part in your shop or finding something you can work with that you can just measure and try to recreate. We've been doing all kinds of stuff in the shop lately with 3D printing. Me and my brother just got a new Bamboo Lab A1 mini printer through this class that we're doing through UC Merced, and these things print phenomenally. So if 3D printing is something you have been trying to get into for a while, let me know down in the comments if there's some specific videos or questions you might have. I think we're going to start doing some, I'm going to do some more videos on 3D printing. This is what just came off the printer, a Bionicle mask, kind of, I think it's about 300% of what it would normally be. But I'm making all kinds of stuff. So if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing more content on, let me know. But that's going to do it for us. So I will see you guys next week. Take care.